Hey everybody, welcome back to Open Fire Tactical. Let me walk over here in front of the camera. My little remote thing's not working today. I probably put the battery in backwards because I'm a clown shoot. Back out here with the 1886 Browning 4570 lever action. Finally got this thing back after a couple of months. Gunsmith has had it all this time, I think since, I want to say February. But that's the thing with gunsmiths. So when you drop off your gun, don't expect it within a couple of days unless they tell you that. A lot of times it's going to be, weeks out, even in this case months. And that's just the way it is. So I've learned I don't call them. I call them to make the appointment so I can drop it off. And I never ask them, when are you going to have it done? I need this by next weekend. They could probably do that, but it's going to cost you a lot more money. So you're better off not rushing them, is what I'm trying to say. And just, they'll call you when it's ready. And then, of course, they'll always call you when you don't have any money or it's in the middle of the pay period or whatever. So, of course, right? So anyway, today I got the Lyman installed. Messing around with that, so I had some technical difficulties with the camera. It stopped, it started, it's infuriating. So I've already shot that target 3 times. The first one was low, 6 o'clock. The second shot was about 10 o'clock outside the center diamond. And then the last third shot was at 3 o'clock, just to the right. So, being that we're on paper and we're kind of in the generalized area, I'm going to set this up at 50. I'm going to paste up those targets. I'm going to paste up those bullet holes, and then I'm going to move it out to 50, and then I'm going to do another 3-shot string with 405 grain lead. And then I'm going to transition to what I want to shoot regularly with this, and that's a 300 grain copper jacket target bullet. So we'll just go from there. Okay? All right, guys. Once again, thank you so very much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. I have 134 subscribers now, which is, it's crazy to me. I can't get with the program on that. I just can't. But I sincerely appreciate the following and you guys coming out here to watch me shoot. I want to see more folks out here shooting. And then mostly the comments, am I an idiot? Well, yeah, you're not going to get any pushback. I know that. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? Less talking, more shooting. I'm just trying to get you guys up to speed as to what it is I'm doing, so that I can give you the most information that I have available, and the brutality of some of these cartridges. This thing is it's terrible to shoot off a bench. It is absolutely terrible. It's just a beast, and that's why I had to put this thing on there. If you were standing and shooting, it's not so bad. But when it's off of like my tackle box, my gun box over there, man, your shoulder takes all of that recoil, and it is pretty tough. But anyway, let me shut up and move this target down another 25 yards, so we'll be at 50, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right, so we're back at the bench. That target's at 50 yards. I'm going to be shooting 300 grain copper. So I would put this in front of the camera, but it'll just be blurry. So I know I said 405 lead. The 300 grain is what I want to start using, and what I'd like to do is go to Texas and do some hog hunting, and I don't know what the distance is there that they normally shoot, and I'm gonna guess that it's like around 100-ish. 100 or closer, probably. And that's just a wild guess. I mean, I really have no idea. So I'll probably bring multiple guns, but I would like to do it with this 4570. And anyway, so let me load up these 3 This is 42 grains of 4198. It's H4198, 42 grains, 300 grain bullet. All right, let's get busy. Here we go, center diamond. We have a problem with one of those. Sizing issue. All right, shot number 2. All right, let's go on down there and see how well we did or didn't do. If it's money, we'll just call it good on that. But I got several different loads because I don't know what's going to work good on this and what's not. So let me pause and we'll head on down. All right, so we're here at the target and those two landed high. And that is really too high. So I'm going to have to make an adjustment, and I was aiming right here. So let me make an adjustment. I'm going to cover these guys up and we'll go back again. Now if my rounds land right here at the top of the diamond, I'll be satisfied with that, and I'll just keep it right there. But that's what I'm going for, right here at the top of the diamond. So it's if I'm shooting at 100, then it'll probably land somewhere down here in this area. But that's the hopes with this 4570 big heavy ass bullet, and that is what it is. So stand by. Okay, so this next 3, I know I shot 2 because one of those bullets wasn't sized properly, so it would not chamber. So I'll have to pull it and trim it and redo everything on that. Not a big deal. This powder, same powder, H4198, and this is 41 grains with a 300 grain bullet. So let's load up these guys and see how well we do or don't do. I did do a rear side adjustment on that lineman, which is the only thing I can adjust. And we'll see where we're landing. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be low, but we'll see. All right, let's walk on down there. All right, so I called it. A little bit low and a little bit to the right, but otherwise a pretty good group with one flyer, two almost touching. So I'm just going to move it to the left a little bit, and then I'm going to come up a little bit. So like I said, I want it at the top of the diamond, and then if I were to just take a shot at roughly 100, I know that I should be on target. So all right guys, let's head on back. Okay, so this next 3-shot string is going to be 43 grains of H4198. I know I'm changing the powder loads. So far it's looking like the 41 grains is what this rifle likes. We'll see what it does with these 43 grain. And I have made my rear sight adjustment, so we'll just see what happens, but it should be like in the ballpark. Let's load up and get busy. Here we go. Same diamond. All right, let's go on down there and see what we did or didn't. Stand by. So yeah, like I said, I think the 41 grains is what it really likes. So we got one in the diamond, and that's these are 1-inch squares. So 1, 2, that's a 2-inch spread at 50 yards. And that's 1, 2, 3. That's pretty wide. That's like a shotgun. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep my sights set, and I'm going to have to make some more at some more of these bullets with 41 grains. I do have another baggie with 3 more bullets in there, so we're just going to have to see what those do. I forgot what the load is, but I think it gradually goes up. But thus far, I think the 41 grain is what it likes with 300 grain bullets. Stand by. Okay, so the last 3-shot string I'm going to do today, it's 41 grains. No, scratch that. It's 40 grains of 4198. And this is actually a lead load. So if you're using hard cast lead bullets, 40 grains of H4198. I wanted to see what these coppers would do with that, and that's why I started. That's like maximum load for the hard cast. Copper you can push much faster, but it's all about accuracy and grouping. So if you're getting, you know, some of these are rated at like 2,000 square feet a second, and that's a screaming freight train of a bullet. But if you're not getting good groups, good accuracy, then that load is pointless in my opinion. Hootie Hoo tell you the same thing. So I watch his channel. I watch a lot of gun channels. But anyway, just throwing that out there. So let's do up these 3, and then we'll see how well we do or don't do. Here we go. shanked that one. I felt it. That one felt pretty okay. Ooh, man, that barrel's getting hot. All right, we'll wrap it up. We'll head on down there and see what happened. Look at that, 2 touching and a flyer, and that's the one I said I shanked, so I called it out. I'm gonna stick with that. 40 grains. That's insane to me. I really like these down here, 41 grains, but a grain is a grain is a grain. All right, guys, well, that's it for me today. Let me turn this thing around. I want to thank you all for coming out once again. Let me get away from the sun. This is crazy, but this is why we come out here and we test our loads, because not all loads are the same. They're all going to hit differently, and it is what it is. But this is how we learn. This is how I learn. I learn by doing. And if I don't come out here and do it, you know, you're wasting your time, moreover, if you're not testing your loads for your rifle. And I've tried to demonstrate that and show that to you guys with ARs, 308, 4570, and the 3030. That's right, I forgot about that. And that has the same Lyman rear sight as this Browning. And so it's working out so much better than the ladder sight that was on there. It's just absolute garbage. But anyway, once again, you guys, thank you so very much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, really, sincerely. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day. Take care.